Xbox is coming to save everybody in the video game industry, and we can't wait. Or at least they gonna try. You know what? Let's not even bullshit. Let's keep it a minute. It's Xbox. They gonna try, but they gonna fail. It's Xbox at this point. These niggas been failing for 14 years, almost 14 years. And now they're gonna try to take another step, which, to be fair, we told them they should take this step to gain back some market share from PlayStation and a little bit of Nintendo, maybe a little bit of Steam. And we don't know if it's gonna work because, again, it's Xbox. We got to talk about, one, Xbox potentially putting out there that they are going to continue the disk drives. They're doing the backwards compatibility stuff, and they're actually getting roasted by the media for doing so. So, hey, let's get into it. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. The grifter chain is getting bigger, so every time you hit that interaction button, be it a comment or whatever the case may be, you're helping your boy out, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. So if you come over here to this post from Rhino the Bouncer, and listen, like, Rhino the Bouncer isn't like the source for everything. You get what I'm saying? However, I have like been able to cross-reference this with other credible people where it seems like this is all but confirmed that this is going to be the case, because Xbox has been rumored to be working on this disc to digital program that will allow you to insert your game disc and get the digital license from the game. And according to many people, this doesn't cancel the disc. If the disc is sold and traded to another user, digital license will transfer to the new owner. The new owner? What the hell does that even mean? Jesus Christ, man. Can't even speak out here. So anyway, it will be revoked from the old owner and given to the new owner. Okay, so obviously you got a situation here where they're trying to make it to where you don't necessarily have to put in the disc. If you put the disc in one time and get the license from it, then you can download it from offline. So what does that allow you to do? Well, I think this is going to allow you to do a couple of different things, and even some things that I'm not necessarily seeing right off of the bat. Like, for example, every time you want to put a game disc in, you got to take it out of the box. You got to put it in there. You got to, when you want to put another disc in, you got to take that one out. This all, gives the potential opportunity for you to damage that disc and all of these different things. But if you only have to put it in one time and you can download it offline, then guess what? That means once you put it back in the box, you never have to take it out again. I think that's pretty dope. Also, it allows you to, trade or sell the game, right? Because you're downloading the digital license from the disc. I think that's pretty dope. And, only positive things can come from that. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is still digital. No, it's not. You still own the game, nigga. You still own the damn game. Right? But the big news here is that it's being heavily rumored that Xbox is apparently going to continue doing the disc support. And IGN wrote an entire article about it, so it can't be that speculative, right? So let's go ahead and take a good little gobble out of that. IGN says Microsoft reportedly planned to continue disc support before the Xbox reset. Okay. Now there is an important update. Where this comes from is that, they are getting this information from Digital Foundry, and they just wanted to put a disclaimer on it. They said, we've updated this article to make it clear that Digital Foundry's John Linneman is speculating about what Microsoft may do in the future around physical disc rather than reporting on the company's plans. Linneman did say his sources had indicated that Microsoft planned to continue support physical disc before the recent reset of the Xbox business, but it is unclear if the company will now do so with its next gen console. So I just want to put that into perspective for you. They're not necessarily saying that Xbox has come out and made it a point and saying that we're going to continue doing digital. It's that before the reset, Xbox had always planned to continue doing physical disc. Now, with PlayStation going completely digital, there's a possibility that Xbox might say, hey, well, we need to go digital too. But let's get into the article. They say Digital Foundry's John Linneman says sources have told him that Microsoft is planning to continue support for physical game discs with the aim of prioritizing backwards compatibility. The topic came up during a Digital Foundry Q&A video posted to YouTube on July 31st. All right, where Linneman raised the optimistic possibility that this might not be going away of the dinosaur, at least on Xbox's side of things. However, the reason for this isn't necessarily due to sales numbers. Rather, Linneman says that backwards compatibility is a bigger priority. And to be fair, right, backwards compatibility has always been one of Xbox's kind of like big focus, even back to the Xbox One and the Series X. And they always wanted for people to be able to play their old games. What I'm most excited about, though, is that there's a rumor that says that Xbox is making Project Helix to be able to run all older Xbox games. Nigga, do you know what that would do for me? The Southeast, if that is true, the Southeast Gaming Exchange is going to be packed next year, and my ass is going to be there with my wallet out. Shut up and take my money. All right? My only question is, and this is the absolute biggest thing. If it plays the older games, does it in any way enhance those games? I don't know. I'm just asking. Nigga, if I could play Jet Set Radio Future in 60 frames per second,
어떤 낯선 이의 모습 속에도 바람을 타고 쓸쓸히 춤추는 저 낙엽 위에도 뺨을 스치는 어느 저녁의 그곳.
Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. I waited my entire life for this. Please, make it happen. And this is the quote that he had to say. I'd heard from a couple of sources, and this is just kind of like potential rumory stuff, but at least before the current Xbox reset, I don't know where it is now, sounds like Microsoft was actually very much going to continue disc support. Not because they value retail disc sales, but because they wanted to ensure that all your Xbox games were still playable on new Xboxes. He went on to envision, that's the end of that quote, by the way. He went on to envision a future where, in stark contrast to Sony's future plans, Xbox doubles down on preserving physical media, even hinting at ties to Microsoft possible plans to digitize players' physical libraries, right? He got another quote, and it's like, we could offer maybe like an external drive or basically some means. I think that might all tie into the disc to digital stuff, but I get this feeling that they might actually, especially given their reaction, I'm not saying that they're going to solve problems or anything drastically going to change, but I do see a future where Microsoft actually supports disc going forward for users that want to take their library with them, while Sony just completely cuts people off. And that is such a big thing to say right there, because like I told you before, Xbox has a unique opportunity to gain back some market share. I'm not telling you that Xbox is suddenly going to gain like tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of players. But what I am saying is there's going to be people that are not even in the know about this stuff that's going to go to GameStop and they're going to go to buy a game. They're going to go to buy the new Madden, the new whatever, and they're looking for a physical disc, and they say, hey, we don't have it for the PlayStation. What do you mean? There's no physical disc for the PlayStation. So yeah, you download it online. And you can keep talking about how most people do this, but what happens when people get tired of running out of space? They get tired of running out of space, and then they go to look up how much it costs to expand their storage, and it's insane. And now you're in the middle of a GameStop looking at the latest, I don't know, Need for Speed, the latest whatever game to come out, and the entire PlayStation rack has no disc, just codes. And then you look over at the Xbox rack, and they got physical disc. A lot of people are going to value that. And the question from Xbox is, can you take advantage of it? That remains to be seen. Now, what I found completely interesting about not only the physical disc stuff, but also the disc to digital stuff, is that Xbox was getting made fun of by Kotaku. I mean, check this out right here. Kotaku put out an article that says, when you don't have a lot of new stuff coming for reasons, fill out your content pipeline with old stuff. And oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Lord have mercy.
My leg!
Oh my God. I had to hit the entire soundboard for that one because, oh my God. First of all, Kotaku, I don't know who making articles over there nowadays, but damn, I can't even be mad. If I was still an Xbox fan, I would be livid about this article. But I've seen the light, and I got to be honest with you. Even though Kotaku deleted this article and got a newer version, they cooked with that. They absolutely cooked Xbox with that one, and they wasn't necessarily telling a lie. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to say. They're telling the truth. Xbox don't have a whole lot of content to put out, so it makes sense that they're propping up backwards compatibility, and that's probably going to be the reason why Sony looks at that and go, okay, sure, you're all about backwards compatibility, right? How about you get some new shit in the building? And that's a valid point. I gotta say, Xbox has got to get some new shit in the building. I've heard the rumor. I've heard the rumor, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, that Game Pass strongly hinges on the sales of Fable. I'm sorry? Meaning the continuation of Game Pass will strongly hinge on whether or not Fable sells well. That's diabolical. First of all, and I have no attachment to Fable whatsoever, never played any of the old games. I just thought it looked a little bit interesting, but that's really what y'all are putting all the chips in on? You think Fable's gonna sell well? Yeah, you guys are cooked. I'm sorry. And so, as much as it's fun to roast Xbox, right? You got to cheer for Xbox to start getting more wins so that we can keep PlayStation in check. All right. I hope that this is true. The disc to digital, the continuation of the drive, the disc drive. I hope that all of that is true. Because then it'll set the foundation for gamers to gain back control of this industry, right? Because right now you're not in control. PlayStation is doing whatever the hell they want to. Nintendo is Nintendo, and Xbox isn't just, they're just Xbox, right? But if Xbox does this, it gives you an opportunity to gain back control, because then you can start saying, I'm switching to Xbox. And that's going to be the most important thing for all of you guys out there, in my comments, in Hypnotic's comments, and whomever favorite video game creator here, in their comments, you're big. You're saying, hey, fuck Sony, fuck PlayStation. I'm not with none of this stuff. I want my physical games. That's great. I'm with you. But if Xbox does this, you have a perfect opportunity to throw that shit back in PlayStation's face and say, we told you, you didn't listen, and now we're here. All right? I don't want to hear none of this, oh, I'm locked in with PlayStation, or I'm not going to support X. No, you got to support Xbox if they do this, because you said you wanted physical games, and Xbox is giving you physical games. Now, my concern is not only that you guys aren't going to necessarily support them, but my concern is also that I don't even know if this is going to actually happen, the disc drive thing. Because if the numbers from what Jason Schreier previously reported as far as the money saved by just going straight to digital, if that's to be believed, there's going to be heavy pressure on Xbox to allow studios and developers to not make physical copies. Because when Jason Schreier broke those numbers down, he didn't talk about just the numbers that could benefit Sony. He talked about the money that can benefit the third-party studios as well, the publishers and whatnot. Because if they don't have to make a disc, there's certain fees and stuff that they don't have to pay. Matter of fact, they were saying that a lot of those studios were paying Sony to make the disc for their platform. So if the third-party publishers and developers and whatever the case may be are putting pressure on Xbox saying, hey, listen, if we have to make a disc for your platform, we're not releasing on your platform. That's my concern. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But, hey, we got a year and a half before the all-digital thing hit on PlayStation. Let's keep covering it, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the grip be with you. Make sure you like the video and share it, for crying out loud. Share it. If you've reached the end of this video, for crying out loud, if you've reached the end of this video, just share it. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, wherever you got to share it, because obviously you liked it enough to sit through the entire thing. I thank you for that. And yeah, hope your brother out.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you.